Good morning and welcome to the planning briefing for Thursday, June 24th from Missoula, Montana. Let's get started. Here's our weather threat matrix. We have a moderate threat for heat on Friday in north central Idaho, and then that expands to all of our areas as we're looking at a long-term heat wave here on Saturday. And Sunday it stays the same, but then on Monday we're going to really mix in some extreme heat for north central Idaho and for valleys west of the Flathead Valley in northwest Montana. It's going to be a high impact for the heat in west central and southwest Montana, and this will probably continue out past where you're seeing here on Monday and Tuesday, all the way out to Thursday, quite possibly Friday, and maybe into Saturday. Our key points. What we want you to take away from this is not your average heat wave. We've had heat a couple times this year. We have heat every summer, but this is not the average heat wave you are used to. It's going to have exceptional longevity, and it's coming a little bit earlier in the season. It's potentially record-setting. If the forecast works out the way it is forecast currently, and we're talking about we're 5-6 days away from it beginning, so things will change over time, but it is potentially record-setting if the forecast temperatures hold. Dew points. You would expect dew points to start to crash or to lower, but they're going to stay relatively high for this type of heat. That's likely due to the greening of vegetation that's still out there. That's probably adding low-level moisture because the moisture aloft just it's not going to be there. We're going to have those bright blue skies and lots of heat over the next week. And then what we're looking at, and this is way out there, middle to the end of next week, is the monsoon moisture is going to enter the picture. There's a lot of question marks on that. But right now we're thinking that there's going to be a little bit of monsoon moisture that works its way into the ridge, and it'll just kind of expand out over the Northern Rockies. So there's possibility for thunderstorms after Wednesday. And keep in mind, if those thunderstorms develop, even if they don't develop in our area, if they develop in Oregon or Utah, that could mess with some of those forecasted high temperatures. The takeaway is, the message is this is going to be an extremely long duration heat wave, and even if we don't hit the forecasted high temperatures, it is going to be very hot and very dangerous. All right, I wanted to introduce you to our heat risk website. You can get to our heat risk website by going to www.weather.gov/MSO, and then here's a screen capture of our homepage, the /MSO webpage. And you can see this arrow here pointing to the heat risk button. If you just click on that, it'll take you there. And for those of you who want to add this to your bookmarks, here is the actual web address. This is an experimental product. It's something that we're just starting out, but I think you're going to find it's very useful. And once, for the next couple slides, where you see yellow, those are going to be low risk for the extremely sensitive people. Orange is going to be a moderate risk. But once you see those reds and magentas, that's your high and very high risk. And that's what we're going to see coming into certainly north central Idaho and even into parts of Montana. Okay, this is where your entire population is going to be affected or impacted by a long duration and excessive heat. And there's not going to be too much relief overnight, as we'll see. So this is Saturday. The heat risk is going to start to increase in Idaho. And you can even see, look at, these are the extreme heat risks. It's already getting into eastern Washington. On Sunday, you're going to see that expansion of extreme heat in eastern Washington. And the high risk is going to expand into our portions of Idaho and into Spokane's portions of the Panhandle. By Monday, extreme heat is starting to expand into our areas in north central Idaho. We're talking Orofino, the Highway 95, the lowest levels, the lowest elevations of Highway 95 corridor, the Selway River Basin. All these areas are going to start to see extreme heat starting to build in. And it's not necessarily in the beginning going to be the temperatures, it's the long duration of this heat. On Tuesday, we can see that the extreme heat is really starting to expand into the Selway Basin. I'm too far south. Into the Selway Basin up here. And you're going to see the high heat stretching up US 12 almost all the way to Powell by this point. Okay? It's just going to continue. And then on Wednesday, we're seeing the extreme heat now entering into the Montana 2 and Montana 200 corridors up here in northwest Montana. And basically, we're thinking the extreme heat is going to be just west of the Flathead Valley and in the lowest portions here of the I-90 corridor west of Missoula. The big thing, if you're going out camping, if you're an outdoor enthusiast, there's not going to be much relief even at higher elevations overnight. And for the fire folks, extremely poor RH recoveries overnight in those thermal belts. Those thermal belts are going to be really warm during this heat event. So please take care with this. All right, this is a screen capture of our weather story that we have out, and it's just, I brought this up so we can just talk about the temperatures. Starting tomorrow, it's going to be 85 to 95 in Idaho and about up to 85 in western Montana. Then on Saturday, we're going to start to see those triple digits moving into northwest Idaho and upper 90s in the lower elevations of Montana. By Sunday, we're in the triple digits in the lowest elevations of western Montana, and we're almost to 110 in the lowest elevations of north central Idaho. And then we're going to go over 110 for 2 to 3 days in north central Idaho in those lowest elevations. And of note, it hasn't been above 110 in Orofino, Idaho since July of 1977. Put that just to give you a concept of just how hot it's going to be. Triple digits begin for almost all of western Montana's valleys, except the locations like Butte. Those higher elevations, they're going to be in the mid to upper 90s. They could possibly reach, in the more extreme cases, up to 100. But I don't think that's going to be there. But most other valleys are going to see triple digits. Your Troys, Thompson Falls, up to 105, 106. And look at these lows, 60 to 70. That's just miserable. There's not going to be too much relief overnight. So please remember, hydrate yourself if you're going to be outside. If you're working outside, take breaks as frequently as possible. Wear your sunscreen. And just remember, our neighbors and our friends, check on them if they're really vulnerable to heat. They're going to be the most susceptible. And never leave kids or pets unattended in vehicles. Well, all right. This is our briefing. The main picture is going to be this heat wave lasting all the way out to probably the end of next week. And we'll see you at the next briefing on the 27th of June on Sunday. Have a great day.